Hey friends, how's it going? Ooh. Let's go. Trying to go live here. We got this. Alright, so I'm streaming today to Facebook and YouTube. So just bear with me while I get everything set up here. Facebook is not cooperating at the moment. Surprise, surprise, right? We're gonna get kicked off officially in just a second here. Comments. The title of this week's episode is "We're Almost Foster Parents, OMG." That's pretty much how I'm feeling right now. Everything's happening very quickly. We've got a big week this week. Alright. Hi, Amy. Nice to see you. I see you on Facebook. Whew. Hey, I've got to update that opening credit. Hello, my name is Lynn, and I am here to give you our weekly update on what is going on in our journey to become foster parents. Do I look a little frazzled today? Because I feel a bit frazzled. I'm fine, like everything's fine. I just feel like my to-do list just keeps getting longer and I'm crossing things off, but it still just keeps getting longer. What is going on with that? I've got a big update today. You're gonna be like, wow, Lynn, that went from 0 to 60 like that. So let's jump into this. Let me get rid of this on the screen, and I'm gonna recap you just in case you didn't hear last week's episode for any reason. Last week we talked, it was such a good show. We talked about how we were preparing for the one-on-one assessments with our DCFS licensing representative, which is kind of the second to last step before getting approved for fostering. So these meetings, they feel like interviews, can go anywhere from 2 hours to 6 hours. And they have to be one-on-one, so the other person has to be out of the house. It's just you and the licensing worker in your house, talking about everything. Everything. So I'm gonna say, last week, I was nervous. I was not sure if I was prepared. I started freaking myself out a little bit. After the live stream, I went and I took a bath. I'm like, I need to just calm down. I'm gonna be fine. But you, the audience, everyone here joining, was so helpful in talking about different tips for interviews, right? Listen to the question. Don't provide more information than they're asking. Take your time, take a breath before you answer. All these great tips. You guys were so wonderful for that. And trust me, it meant a lot, and it also proved to be very helpful in this situation for me. So thank you for doing that. Okay, I feel, here's why I'm a little frazzled, okay? And then I'm going to get into more of the details of what happened there in the one-on-one assessment. So in a nutshell, they went great. As she was leaving mine, and mind you, she didn't even have the assessment with Bert yet. As she was walking out, she's like, all right, let's get your final walkthrough on the schedule. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, it's next week. It is next week. And she said, yep. And as soon as I, finish the walkthrough and we go over the paperwork, I will submit you guys into the system the same day. And you literally could start getting calls the same day. Okay, that went fast. That happened very quickly. This is definitely, going from the past, few months going, I don't know when it's going to happen, sometime maybe in May, maybe June, who knows, to all of a sudden going, oh man, it's literally feels like a countdown of how many days it's just going to be me and Bert living in this house, and then, before we become a family. So that's when I'm a little frazzled. We have, I don't know, just this big change coming up. And we have just a jam-packed week. This week I've got Cinco de Mayo on Thursday, and my company has asked me and Bert to host Mexican bingo, also called Loteria Mexicana, at a bar for an event that they're doing. And you know me, we've talked about this before, how I host bingo, was virtually, then we did trivia virtually, and then we did in person. So this is, kind of, it's fun for us, but it's also like just a little extra, one of our evenings is being taken up by this event. It's fine. My birthday's on Saturday, and we are having friends and family over for kickball in the park near us, and then we're going to have them over for a barbecue afterwards. So it's going to take up most of Saturday, if not all of Saturday. And then we need still to get 2 rooms ready for the walkthrough, which will be next Wednesday. And I've got the live stream next Monday coming up, and so that really kind of just leaves us tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Sunday, and then next Tuesday. Those are like my open blocks of time to put together 2 rooms for foster kids. But here's the wonderful thing, right? As soon as I found out last week that we were going to have our final walkthrough on the 11th, I did what I preach on this channel all the time, which is use your support group. I posted on my personal Facebook page and said, hey, these are the things that we're looking for in order to build these rooms. I said, Bert and I are becoming foster parents. We need a twin mattress. We need a futon mattress. And then we need a full-size bed. Guys, all of it. Got it all covered. Like literally within probably an hour. And I think I saw, I don't know if Elliot's watching. Elliot was one of the people. He's giving up one of it, or giving us a dresser. It was like amazing. It feels so good to be so supported. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel like asking for that help, because that's, for some people, really tough, right? Asking for help. Telling people what you're up to, what you're doing. We could afford all these things, right? Like, we have money, that's fine. But if we can ask for help and people can say, oh yeah, I've just got this bed sitting in the basement anyway, and it's, for a good cause like this, it's really nice to be able to use that, save some of those, some of those funds for other things that we may need down the road with the kids, which is really nice. So if you're one of the people watching that have donated to our setup of the rooms, thank you so much. It's just incredible that we were able to, I don't know, it just feels so incredible. So thank you for helping us feel incredible. Elliot said, hell yeah, I am. You are awesome, Elliot. Thank you. Hi, Laura. Nice to see you, and thank you for the birthday wishes. And yes, for Cinco de Mayo, I'll definitely be practicing, all the Spanish accents I've been doing with Duolingo. Yeah, Paul, no kidding, right? Paul's like, that's a huge change. It's very big. And hi, Mom. Thanks for watching and saying hi. Okay, so let's kind of circle back and talk about the one-on-one assessments last week. The reason I want to talk about this is for 2 reasons. One is, if you are watching maybe even, a replay, not in the moment, or if you're watching now and you're interested in what the assessment part of becoming a foster parent looks like, I'm going to tell you, okay? First thing I will say is, if you do a Google search and find a website or a service saying, take my 2-week boot camp to prepare for your assessment, don't do that. You don't need that. All you need is you. I found that like the night before the assessment, I found this thing that said, take the 2-week boot camp, get your bio ready, get all this stuff ready. I'm like, oh my God, was I supposed to be preparing? Did I miss the boat on this? Are we screwed? No. This is somebody, maybe helping. I don't know what the point of that is, but it's not needed. That's what I'm going to tell you. What you do need is to just have some opinions, mindfulness around the training you experienced. If you just kind of went through the motions of training and you didn't really do the work or be thoughtful about the answers in your training packet, you might be it might take a little bit longer to get through the interview. Mine took 3.5 hours, and I really love our licensing representative. She did a great job at making me feel very comfortable right away. And, the questions out of the gate were easy, and then she worked up to the tougher ones. here are the things you're going to cover. It's going to be background about you, how you were raised, parenting stuff. So how you were parented, and then also how you think you will be as a parent. How you'll handle the kids as they come to your home and also as they leave your home. Thinking about kind of the attachment and emotional part of it. They are going to ask if you ever had a trauma, whether it was in your childhood or older, and then they're going to, talk to you about how you handled that. I think what they're looking for there is, if it's a way for them to understand if you'll be able to relate to the kids, maybe not in their specific trauma, but able to understand how you work through it so that you can help a child work through it. Because as a reminder, every foster kid that's placed with you has experienced at least one trauma, and that was being separated from their family and their life that they know. That's really tough. It's a very tough interruption. So what else did we cover here? We talked about our support systems, and I was like, I told her about our live stream. I told her how I joined the Facebook groups. I told her we have friends that do it, and we also said, that we have our my parents that are willing to help out, and we've also started asking a few. Well, so far only one. We've started, but our plan is to ask friends that are nearby that will be able to kind of like jump in and help us out if we reach out to them. So it won't be a big surprise when we do, or if we do. But she was really like, with the trauma stuff, I was worried that she would kind of like dig in and it would be really hard to kind of, rehash some of the stuff that you don't really want to talk about, and not like stuff that we covered last year. Like that's my most recent trauma is all the, infertility and the miscarriage and everything. But like things from a long time ago that I haven't thought about. It was funny because she's like, did you have any traumas as a child? And I was like, no, I don't think I did. And then they kind of started coming back to me a little bit. And I'm like, actually, there were a few things, which, we worked through that. And we, I think it was a natural thing. She's seen a lot. She's been doing it a long time. So we talked, surface level about that kind of stuff. But I'd say if you are going through this step in your foster licensing journey, don't hold back. Like those traumas actually kind of give you some street cred with being a foster parent. I don't know, that's kind of weird. I never say street cred, but hi Kim, thanks for saying hi. And Amy, this is a fantastic question. Last week I was worried about it starting at 9 a.m. and going for 6 hours. I'm like, should I make her lunch? It actually worked out perfect. I did not make her lunch. I did offer her coffee when she came in. The house smelled like coffee because we had it brewing. But she didn't want any. She just wanted to, sit. And she left at 12:45 by the time we were all done and wrapped up. So it was good. She left before it was lunchtime. But thanks for asking. I didn't, I wasn't sure. I should have asked and should have just been like, hey, if we had gone any longer, would I have, needed to serve lunch? But I didn't. Maybe I'll ask her later. She was really nice in saying that, that I can just reach out to her, and it might take her a while to get back, but never hold back from asking her, even though she's very busy and everything. So I feel like if I did want to find out, I could just ask her now. I feel like we have a good relationship. Bert's assessment went quicker. His was only 2.5 hours, 2.5. We think it went a little bit quicker because I shared a lot of the shared stuff before he did, and also with my assessment, she seemed to be sharing a lot of her own experiences too, like personal experiences and also experiences that she's seen in her years of being part of the foster system, as a worker in the foster system. And she did share stories with Bert too, but with me, it almost seemed like we connected on more on an emotional level for a few things. So it was really, I don't know, it was more than just like a her doing her job with just another person in the system. It actually felt like she cared. And I I sometimes feel a little skeptical when I have that connection with people. And let me know if you feel this way ever, where you almost feel like, wow, we connected a little bit too good. How genuine was that? Is this person playing me? Is this, like, what's the motive here? Like, how true and genuine is that connection? And I felt very positive after the assessment. And I was like, I just kind of want to test this out a little bit. Like, how real was that? Is this all in my head? Am I feeling, fluffy and good for, just in my head? But I sent her a follow-up thank you, which I had recommended last week as we were kind of going through, like, interview do's and don'ts. Always send a thank you note for their time. Doesn't have to be long. So I emailed it to her. Said, Rosalind, I think it's fine that I say her name, but I said, thank you so much. You made us feel, you made me feel very confident moving forward with all this. And she wrote back and she said, you have nothing to worry about. You make my job easy. I just was like, I think I cried. I actually think that I had a few tears. So, Mom, I don't mean to cause, like, I don't want anybody to question it. And I want you, like, it's my own, this is just my own kind of, like, suspicion sometimes about things. Like, I don't know why. I think I've been burned a couple times trusting people, thinking that it was real, and that's why I have that distrust. But until you have that, I feel like, trust your instincts when you have a good relationship with someone, but also at the same time, I don't know, there's some sketchy people out there. And also maybe I just watched too much TV, because I watched, what was that show? I can't remember. Oh yeah, like the Tinder Swindler, where they're like, sweeping you off your feet and everything, and then they turn out to be conning you. It's not what every nice person is doing to you. It's just, you gotta be careful. Anyway, but I don't know. Does anyone else feel that way too? A little, like, skeptical when they connect with people, or is that just me? I think it's just me. I think it is. So that's the big update. So we are working to get things cleared out of those rooms, including, like, Bert's office is currently set up in one of those rooms. We've got a ginormous bookcase filled with books. We have to figure out where we're moving that. I don't think it'll fit in there. Like, the rooms are kind of small, so we can't put a lot in them. So we've been very lucky. People have offered us, like, queen size beds and more dressers and stuff. And it would be so nice to just furnish everything like that. But we actually have to be a little bit picky, which is a weird thing. When you ask for help, is it okay to be picky? It is. It is okay. Just be polite about it. That's fine. Someone offered to donate us lamps, and I'm like, I didn't even think about lamps. Can you send me a picture? So they're going to send a picture, and then we'll decide if we want them or not. How nice is that? So we got a bit of work to clear out the rooms and then kind of start mapping out where everything is going to go and if it'll all fit, and then follow up with each person that's going to donate something to us, and then figure out how we're going to get it. If any of the items need a little bit of touch up or whatever, we got to make sure. I don't think we have to touch anything up by the walkthrough. I think we can just show the beds and the dressers in place and be like, and we'll fill in the details later. But wow, guys, life is about to change. It almost feels like, so she said we could get a call literally the same day we get licensed, or it could be months. I don't know what to expect. She says she's seen it both ways. But considering our age range is fairly open, and there seem to be a lot of families that are more inclined to take babies, I think. This is based off of what I've perceived from the Facebook support groups. We're not taking babies, so we're going to go anywhere. I think we're narrowing it to, like, 5 years old to, like, 12 or 13. And we can expand that time if we want to, the ages if we want to, or we can say now we'll take anything from 2 to 18, but as the calls come in, if they say, oh, I've got a 17-year-old, we can just say, sorry, not at this time. And that's an important thing to know if you become a foster parent, is ask the questions on the phone. You can say no. You can say no, and they'll call the next family. They'll find someone else. So that's a big thing for me and Bert. We need to have a talk ahead of time and say, hey, what are the questions we're going to ask? I'm pretty sure I'm listed as the main contact, so it'll probably be me asking. And then say, can I call you back? You don't have to answer right there on the call. Say, I need to check with my husband or my partner or my wife or whomever it is that is sharing in that decision with you. And then you can call them back. I did clarify that at some point in my training. I think it was in one of the discussion groups. And I said, is that okay? And they said, yes, it's encouraged. So yeah. Oh my gosh, guys. I feel a lot better now just saying all that. Kind of mapped out all my, my to-do list. And then on top of that, I'm running a women's soccer tournament in 2 weekends. And also working on getting the IWSL season started too. So there's just a lot of balls in the air right now. But I'm very happy to be doing all of it. And still preparing to go to Spain in June, which is a little stressful now, thinking how Bert might be home alone with a foster placement while I'm gone, if it happens that fast. So, yeah, how are you guys feeling? Let's check in with you first. Do you have any questions for me about any of the process that we've gone through to get here? Or questions about how I'm feeling or things I'm planning on doing? Put it in the chat. And then next, I'd love to check in with you. What are you working on? What big things are happening for you this week or coming up? Do you have any, I don't know. Is anybody just taking it easy and kind of taking some downtime before something else big comes, coming up in a month or two? That's important too, right? Taking that time while you've got it to just, let's take it easy here. I don't know, because a few times in my life I was like, wow, I wish I had taken it a little bit more easy before all this. I don't know. I wish I wasn't so stressed out about things I didn't need to be. Did I talk about my work stuff too? So my boss and I are going to have a big conversation coming up just about my my role in the company. I wear a lot of hats at work, and sometimes it can be, I don't know, almost because I don't have one big title, I feel like I'm asked to help with a lot of stuff, and it sometimes can be a little disruptive for having my own flow to work on the bigger things that I need to be working on. So, Lynn Ball 2022, Bert actually, so even though I'm the event organizer, Bert's actually the one that does the organization for the birthday shenanigans, which is amazing to me. It's the best birthday present ever from him because, I don't know, I'm always the one doing the organizing. So when someone does the organizing for me and it's what I want, which is just a kickball game and to see my friends, I don't know, it's so special. I'm so excited. And I think we're going to meet a few new people, or some people are bringing new boyfriends that we haven't met yet, or maybe only one person. Yeah. So it's going to be really nice. I like meeting, new people. Last night we met our good friend's new girlfriend, and it was just, they're so cute together, and I'm just in love with them, so happy for them. Kim has a good question here. So did you both take the day off for the final walkthrough? So you can take a child that day if they have one that fits you. Great questions. So I'm probably going to do a half day. Our walkthrough is at 4 p.m. So I probably will leave work at 2, depending how the house is. If it's already ready to go, I'll leave at 3, get home by 3:30, 3:45 and be fine. And then, so if we get a call, from what I understand, and again, every situation's a little different, the timing can be you get a call, and the fastest it could happen is they're okay, in an hour they're there. But more likely, they're calling you and they're looking to see who's available, and they're not sure because when they have a child in their once they take a child from their biological parents, they then have to take them to the hospital. They need to do paperwork and everything. So they actually take the child to an agency or DCFS office and process a lot of that. And it's not likely that they're just going to pick them up from their biological home or wherever they were staying and bring them straight to a foster home. This is how I understand it. So more likely we will get a call and have half a day, several hours, maybe even a day or two to actually prepare. every situation is different type of thing. And Bert and I's plan, I don't know if it's a good plan or not, we are in the city, so we have things so close to us. And I'm like, instead of stocking up on every type of toothbrush and hair care and size of clothing and everything, as soon as we know what age that placement is, because we'll know over the phone, we'll have an action like list, like this is our shopping list, this is what we need to go get. And then in the days following, we'll be able to expand that, like, hey, okay, we can ask friends for donations for toys or for clothing or other needs if needed. Because a lot of people have this stuff and they're happy to hand it over. Save us a lot of money. So again, we can focus those funds on something else. And also just makes it a lot faster for us to kind of like jumpstart this kid in our home. So if we get a call though, to finish answering your question, Kim, both me and Bert have talked to our bosses and to our coworkers about what we're going through and that we could get that call anytime. And my boss completely understands that I may get that call and need to leave work immediately to go and start preparing. And that's, I don't know, that's kind of our plan, is like work knows that we may need to just pick up and go at some time. We may need to stay home for a couple of days in order to get everything situated. Yeah. And Laura, I see your comment. We'll get back to that in just a sec. And Dad's saying, does a child bring some personal belongings with them? Typically, no. Typically, all they have, and it depends if they're coming from another foster home or if they're coming from the home that they were removed from initially. Bert said that our our licensing worker said something about trying to give us a long-term placement at the beginning. And I don't really know if that means like from another home or what the reasoning was behind that. So we might end up with someone that's not as like turnaround as some of these other cases. But I think if they come from another foster home, like if they were removed from a home or from a facility, they may have stuff with them. But we shouldn't expect it, I guess, is my point. I'm seeing garage sales start soon in our area. It's a good source for toys and clothing, absolutely. And when I posted it on Facebook asking if anyone had furniture and the things that the mattresses and stuff, tons of people recommended these free Facebook groups, things that you can give away or just exchange on Facebook in your neighborhood, furniture, items, whatever. People are just trying to give it away. So that's another hot tip for you, depending where you live. Look for those Facebook groups in your area of free items. So let's get into you guys. Thank you so much for asking and being so, you guys, thank you so much for being so supportive of me and Bert. Like I don't think it's this common to be this supported. I'm reading what other people opinion on sharing their fostering journey, and it's surprising to me how many people don't build up this support with their friends and family. And I know, people are different and have different sorts of support around them. I'm very aware of how lucky we are to have such a supportive group around us. So thank you. Let's support you guys now. Laura, you've got a job interview tomorrow. That's awesome. Is this the one you were hesitant about going on? Is this the one you told us last week and you said you might not do it because it might not work with your childcare situation? I think that's what I'm remembering. Let me know, and good luck. And I hope that you remember some of the tips that we went over last week, and you got this. Next, Kim. Bowled a 216? What? And you brought mom and dad with you? That's so great. So my parents have been bowling. Well, my mom's been bowling since I was like an infant. Like that's like her recreational like sport. It's awesome. And she's been doing it. She's still a bowler. My dad bowls with her. My sister became a bowler. Sister is a bowling coach. Bowling is for everybody in the family but me and my brother. Oh my gosh. Congratulations, Kim, a 216. That's amazing. And I'm glad mom and dad were there for that. Okay, Laura, good. Well, good luck. And I think no matter what, it's going to be a good experience to, go through the interview and then just see what happens. It's going to be great. Oh, I'm so happy. happy you're doing it. Give it a chance. You never know. And also, like, you never know if they're gonna, if they want you enough, they'll work around your demands, what you need. So don't be shy about that. Yeah, something I'm learning as a mature adult. I wish I had told myself that 10, 20 years ago. It's awesome. I can hear Bert. He just returned home. He ran to the store, but I can hear me on a slight delay from the kitchen. It's kind of funny. I don't know. It's what's happening right now. All right, you guys. He just apologized. See, that was the lag right there. Time travel. It's crazy. Anybody else have anything big going on? This is, I don't know. I talked about my big week and everything. If you're in Chicago and would love to play Loteria Mexicana on Thursday, we're going to be at Old Town Poorhouse. I think tickets are on Eventbrite, and I think they're $20. Come with a couple of drinks. I think it's a chips and queso bar. Like, I don't know how many different types of queso there can be, but apparently that's a thing. Oh, and I'm seeing some comments on Facebook. Sorry, they're not popping up, so I can't put them on the screen, but let me catch up here. Oh, Amy. Okay, hold on. I have comments to catch up on. Amy, I hope you didn't feel ignored. And same with you, Kelly. Sorry. So Amy's asking, and sorry I can't pull the comment up on screen, but do you have a Venmo? I want to give you a little money so you can get something still needed. Thank you, Amy, so much. This is okay. So someone else reached out, very sweet, said, look, I don't have any of the things on your list that you're looking for, but I just want to help. I just want to be part of this. It's so important. And I honestly, like, I didn't know how to respond. I have not sent her my Venmo yet because I was just like, I don't know. We don't need money. But Bert and I talked about it. And we said, you know what? Having people feel like they're supporting this is kind of a big deal, right? This is a community type of thing. Like, if we can tell this kid, like, a whole bunch of people, pulled together to make this opportunity, I mean, that might mean a lot to them, right? Remind them that a lot of people care. And I was like, well, maybe we can have help getting the bed sheets, the pillows, some of the things that we'll still need to complete the room from the beginning. So, Amy, maybe let me be okay with accepting money for this. I think I'll be okay, and then I'll message you, and we'll go from there. Thank you, though. You're very kind, and it means a lot. Kelly is reminding me that. Okay, so it's not just a Facebook group, but it's actually something called buynothing.org. That's why it probably didn't pop up in the comments. I block addresses just because sometimes we get spammed. So Kelly's recommendation for anybody who needs donations or wants to donate, whatever, buynothing.org. Okay? And then Paul said you're still off from 300, so keep on working on that bowling score. That's pretty harsh, but we're a pretty competitive family, so I get it. And Amy, I have had so much grace extended to me. Okay, Amy. All right. Okay, I'll do it. And then I'm going to redo my credits at the end of my live stream to thank all the people that have made it possible for us to start fostering. I'm going to have to make updates. Awesome. Okay, we are set. Aw, and my mom is excited about watching grandchildren a couple times a week. That's Paul and Kelly's kids. That's so special. I'm so glad that our family is close enough for my parents to watch the grandkids, because I don't know, that's so special. And my parents are still so very active and able to play with them and everything. It's so nice. And it gives Paul and Kelly a little break to get things done too. All the good vibes, guys. All the good vibes. All right, I'm going to I think I'm gonna sign off here in just a minute. Want to thank everyone again. Wow, I can't believe how close we are to everything. So next Monday I'll probably give you like the real feels on how we're just 2 days away from getting licensed and how things are coming in the rooms. Maybe I can try and find a way to share what they look like with you. We'll see. Oh, oh, Kelly. Oh, so guys, we need to give Kelly a little bit of love, a little bit of support here. Okay, we're going to do one more chime in with your stories, okay? We're going to see how this goes. So Kelly's saying, I clearly need more coaching help from Paul since my first practice, one of the kids went to the emergency room. Okay, here's what happened. Kelly did nothing wrong, but she feels horrible. And so I'll tell briefly her story, and then I'm going to briefly tell my story. And then I'd love to hear your stories of a time where you accidentally hurt a kid, big or small, and you felt horrible about it, okay? Because I have a feeling we've all been there at one point or another, and maybe this will all make us feel a little bit better and maybe be able to laugh it off. I'm not sure, because I still cringe thinking about the time that I was taking my nephew down on a sled, down a snow hill, and he leaned a little bit and we tipped because I couldn't counterbalance it fast enough, and he face planted into the snow, and I think the sled even might have gone over his arm. It was I was like, oh my God, I just ran over my nephew. I felt like the worst aunt, worst adult ever. And of course, as soon as he comes up, he is screaming and crying, and tears are streaming down his face, and he's got little cuts on his cheeks from the ice and the snow and everything. And he was fine. Nothing was broken. But man, I feel like I traumatized that child forever. Do you guys have stories like this too? I don't think that my nephew remembers it at all. I'll have to ask him. But wouldn't that be funny if that is something that he remembers forever and ever? Not funny. But I feel like this happens. We're just parents, aunts, uncles, babysitters, where something happens. You turn away for 2 seconds, and next thing you look over, and all of a sudden they're stung by a bee, and their hand is swelling up. These kinds of things, they happen. This is part of parenting, and it's even worse if it's not your kid. I feel like, if it's your own kid, you're like, oh, it's going to be okay. Your child and how they react to it. I think it makes it a little tougher when it's someone else's. You guys have any stories about this? This is a weird one. This is a weird ask here. Oh, there we go. So Kelly has a story from her mom. Her mom reminded her when she was coaching in softball, she hit a girl on her backswing. Oh, oh my God. That just made me think of when I was in tumbling class, real little, couldn't have been more than 7 or 8 years old. The instructor was helping a girl do a back walkover, and the instructor knelt down, and the girl was in a back bend, and her knee went on her ponytail, and the girl kicked over, and a whole lock of hair just ripped out. Oh my God. Ooh, we're gonna have to put a warning on this live stream for the replays. Okay. Oh man. See another one here. Okay, so I dislocated Kimmy's elbow when she was a toddler. She was reaching for something in a store, and I jerked her away. Still feel guilty about it. Oh God. Oh, and my shoulder's dislocated many times in my life, and I can kind of empathize with that pain. So Mom, I completely forgot about that happening, but whenever I see adults picking kids up by their arms, or swinging them by one arm, I'm like, oh my God, you're gonna break them, you're gonna dislocate their shoulders. So it's very cringeworthy sometimes for me to watch things with the arms and the joints. Oh my gosh. Kids are so fragile, but they're so resilient. It's crazy. Oh, I really hope I don't hurt the kids. Okay, so as a side note, becoming a foster parent, and if these injuries happen, I'm so terrified that the kid will go and tell the caseworker an inflated story about what happened, or the caseworkers are gonna see something like a bruise or a cut or something, and then think that we caused that, or we're bad foster parents, because I've heard these stories, and it's terrifying. And I'm like, I don't want my license taken away because of these little things. I feel like I have to be so careful. Oh my God. Kelly's got tons of stories. Her mom also opened a door into your head when you were young. You still have the scar to prove it. Oh man. I have a scar on my chin from hitting my at the top of a slide at a McDonald's. Hit that. Got my thumb stuck in the car door one time. Mom, do you remember that at the library? Oh my gosh. It's amazing, guys, right? But we made it. We all made it. This is a great point. We'll leave it on this today. Kids without bruises are the ones sitting in front of the TV for all hours and not outside. That's true. I love that. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you had a little bit of fun. Hopefully the end here wasn't too cringy. Trying to see if I missed anything else. I don't think so. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap up. I will see you guys next Monday. I hope the rest of your week is awesome. Laura, good luck in your interview. And I hope we get, I don't know if you'll find out, what the results are from your interview by next Monday, but I hope that you can share with us then. And everyone, thank you so much for being so supportive. And thanks, Mom, for saying that too. I'm pretty sure the caseworker will know the difference. I hope so. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being awesome. I'll see you on Monday. See you later. Bye.
Must have been wrong, 'cause your love is strong.